Hey guys, Art131 here, and we're going to be starting the fall semester. This is the weekly assignment schedule that I'm going to, it's actually under the syllabus, so you can go there and find this and print it out. And it's a good way to keep on track with the assignments and what you're doing each week. So we're going to be communicating with emails and email attachments. And so that is primary. Don't try to do something on e-learning through the course page. Let's use the emails that we normally would use for the college. And you're going to be sending attachments with your work. You're going to take digital photos, obviously, and send those to me in just in a regular attachment in an email. So you save it to your computer and you attach it um, that way. Sometimes students send an attachment in a different way or more some offshoot way that I can't open, or it asks me for permission to open it, or wants me to pay to open it. So those aren't going to work. So we'll work out the bugs in this, and you'll figure out which way to send things is the best, and we'll go from there. And also, it's best to do the work each week. So there's two assignments each week because there would have been if it was a face-to-face class, it would have been two uh, classes a week, and each one of them is about almost 3 hours. So you're going to be spending that much time each assignment, and the homework, maybe a couple of hours at least. So as you can see, usually every week there's two assignments per week, and then the homework. So that makes three, and so you want to finish these up the week they are presented or posted, which I will be posting these in videos, and you'll see this video, and you will go to the get on the assignment or the actual course page and look for assignments straight away, and then they'll come up that way. So you'll see each video for each week. Sometimes I'll post several videos with other instruction and demonstration from other artists to get a well-rounded view of what you're doing or what I'm asking you to do. So that's how we will play this out. So each week I post videos. Typically, it ends up being for the first assignment, there's a video, and then the second assignment and homework, there's another video midweek. So Wednesday, look for another video with instruction for those, and also there'll be other demonstration and instruction videos, possibly more than not. And then send that work to me by the following week. So week one, finish it up. Sometime during week two, send me that work from week one so I can critique it. I may ask you to do more work to it, and I'll give examples and I'll give suggestion. And then you'll work more on it and send it back to me again. Maybe this will happen 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then you'll work more on it and you'll get a better grade. So that you have every chance to get a really good grade on everything we're doing here, all the assignments, if you keep working on it. And I asked you to do something more to it and try this or try that, and you sent it back and you did try that, you're getting a good grade. If I don't ask you to do anything to your work, or you sent it back and I'm now saying, hey, good job, thank you, then you got a good grade on it. Or if you sent it straight away and it happened to be really good, had all the elements and principles I'm talking about each time with each assignment, then you will be getting a good grade on that too, because I didn't ask you to do it over. Anytime I ask you to do it over, you have your chance to do that or do more to it or develop it a little more or try this or try that. I'll give suggestions. I'll send examples in images as well. And you will work on it and send it back for a better grade. Okay, so let's talk about assignment number 1. As you can see, it says pre-instruction drawings. There are 3 of those. You can do them all on the same page if you want. I sent actually a supply list, I think it was last week, and primarily all you really need to, at first is some drawing paper. I mentioned Bristol paper, which is thicker, so you can paint on it, you can do ink work on it, you can do lots of work on it. So if you're in a place where they have Bristol paper, 11 by 14, get that, because you can do so many things on it. If not, then the drawing paper will be fine to start. You may need it later. Down here in week 10, we're doing color. So that's going to be using paints or something else. There's ink work in week 9. So we're going to need some ink pens at that time. You don't need them now. But all you really need now is some drawing pencils and the paper. But I say go ahead and get the Bristol because it's thicker and you can do so much on it. As far as the pencils go, 5B to 8B. This is soft graphite pencils, and they work very well to render dark tones. If you press lightly, you get the light tones. If you press if you press harder, you get the dark tones. So you can do so much with those pencils. If you get the what they call is the hard graphite, it doesn't render dark tones. It's always going to be light. So you don't want those. So 5B to 8B soft graphite drawing pencils. Now, if you want to try charcoal pencils work really well to render dark tones, and you can press lightly. You can use the kneaded eraser with it, which is different than a white vinyl eraser. You need a kneaded eraser with the charcoal in it. It'll take out tone and make lighter tones when you've gotten too dark. You can always use a smudger too. Look into getting smudgers. They're like little cardboard pencils with a tip on it. There's no lead in there or anything or graphite. There is only the sort of a cardboard to it, and then it smudges the graphite to smooth out your shading. So you might want to look into getting some of those too. I'm not saying you have to, but charcoal pencil would really work fast in getting a lot of drawing done quickly because it renders the dark tones really, really right now, and then you can back it off with the eraser. With the graphite, you're going to need the white vinyl eraser for that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the very first assignment, number 1, pre-instruction drawings. There's 3 of them. One is a hand study, so basically drawing your hand, so maybe just sitting there in front of you with a light source. I say a single light source so that you have a lot of dark and lights to it. If you have multiple light source, you're not going to have quite the contrast in light and dark showing up on your subject. A single light source on the left or right, that creates the dark shadows and it creates the light where the light is hitting on your subject, the lighter areas. That's the best way to do it. So it's your hand or a hand anyway. It's best to look at a hand rather than looking at a drawing of a hand. I'm going to show you some images of hands, but drawings of hands and the other things I'm asking you to draw for this first assignment. But it's best to have this stuff set up in your viewpoint so you have a model. And then the second drawing would be a head study. So this sounds just exactly like it is. A head study could be your head, could be someone else's head. You take a photo of it and you can work off a photograph or a live person if you want. Okay. And the third drawing is a chair. Any chair. Sometimes wood chairs work better because they have sections in there and see-through parts, for where the slats are, and they can be very interesting. But any chair will do. All right, let's talk about and see some examples. So here's some drawings of hands. I go to Bing, And I put in this case, hand drawings, right? So you can see what they look like in the graphite, many of them. Some are shaded more than others. I say you should shade more than anything, and so you show a lot of shape that way, okay? But this is a pre-instruction drawing, so I'm not going to tell you a lot about that, but you can look at this and see which ones are the stronger drawings, right? The ones with the shading have more shape to them. They just come out and almost touch you off the paper. So it's your hand in any position. There's many positions here, right? All these different positions of hands. So you decide, that's up to you. And then you draw that. And then you're going to draw a head study. Let's try that. Head drawings. What happens if we put study in there? Let's see what that actually does. Head study drawings. Yeah, you know, this is kind of a free one. I would stay away from this sort of thing and try to actually draw a head. It can be in any position you want, all right? It could be your head. It could be somebody else's head. It can be a photograph of a head. But a head is part of this. So that's number 2 drawing of this prelim drawing. And then chair. Let's not put study with that and just see what that is. Many different chairs. I prefer shading as opposed to not. So this has no shading, right? This does have shading. That has a lot of shading. That's a strong drawing. Has shading. Something like this does not have shading. So it sort of sits there flat, right? So put some shading into it. It's always better. That's all I'm going to tell you about the chair. These are just for me to get an idea where your skill level is, and maybe we can use these as a reference later to see how you've improved. Okay, so those are the 3 drawings: a hand, a head, and a chair, right? Write it down. Write it down because I didn't put it here. 3 drawings. First assignment, pre-instruction drawings: hand, head, and a chair. Okay, and that's all it is. And then we're going to talk to you again on Wednesday. I'll put another video up, and that'll be number 2 assignment and the homework. Okay, and we'll go from there. So get your supplies if you haven't, and sometime this week, and start working on that. I would say tomorrow or Tuesday anyway. And treat it like a face-to-face class, like you were in the lecture lab that I would normally teach face-to-face, and go from there. All right, any questions, let me know, and we'll talk with you on Wednesday.